This golden retriever was lying in a trash bag, bound and broken, her life hanging by a thread. It looked like there was no chance she would survive, let alone thrive. But what happened next? It'll absolutely melt your heart and restore your faith in the good of this world. Golden retrievers. When you hear that name, you probably picture joyful family companions, full of life, with wagging tails and an eagerness to please. The most famous thing about them is their gentle nature and their love for running and playing. So can you guess how terrible it would be for a golden retriever to lose not just one, but all four of these vital parts of her body? This awful thing happened to a beautiful young golden retriever, later kindly named ChiChi. In early 2016 in South Korea, her life took a devastating turn. She was discovered in a trash bag near a dog meat market, her legs bound so tightly that circulation had been cut off, causing severe damage. The tissue was dying. The pain she endured is difficult to fathom, left with open wounds, her future looking utterly bleak. Rescuers from the Nabia Aryan Hope Project found her in this dire state. Inside the discarded bag was a dog whose vibrant golden fur was likely matted and soiled. She was weak, her legs clearly destroyed. A creature made to run and play was immobile, totally helpless. It was immediately clear this was a critical emergency. Every moment she remained in that state, infection was spreading, and she was getting closer to death. She couldn't stand, she couldn't walk, she couldn't escape. She simply couldn't survive like this without quick and amazing help. A member of the rescue group gently took her from that place of horror and rushed her to veterinary care. The veterinarians who first saw ChiChi were confronted with horrific injuries. The extent of her suffering was shocking. Yet despite everything, as they tended to her, she managed a faint wag of her tail, a tiny sign of an unbreakable spirit. Their immediate priority was to stabilize her, manage her pain, and assess the full extent of the damage. As they examined her, the sad truth became overwhelmingly clear. The damage to all four of her limbs was too severe. The infection was too advanced. The tissue was too far gone. The veterinarians faced a life or death choice. To save her life, they would have to perform a drastic surgery. All four of her limbs would need to be amputated. It was the only way to stop the infection from claiming her life. Even if she survived the surgery, her future as a quadruple amputee presented immense challenges. The bright spark she once had in that tiny wagging tail seemed to be fighting against an overwhelming darkness. But then, like a little ray of sunshine, news about ChiChi's fighting spirit and her desperate situation reached a family across the ocean. The Howell family in Phoenix, Arizona, heard about ChiChi's plight. Known for opening their home and hearts to animals with special needs, they had experience with challenging rescue cases. They saw in ChiChi's story not an insurmountable obstacle, but a chance to offer love and a future. They decided to adopt her, bring her to the United States, and help her heal, both physically and emotionally. Their commitment was immense. To many, the prospect of caring for a quadruple amputee might seem overwhelming, but the Howells saw an opportunity to give ChiChi the life she deserved. This was not a quick or easy path, nor was the journey ahead simple. It required a network of compassionate people working together. After her life-saving amputation surgeries in South Korea, ChiChi needed to recover enough to travel. The rescuers at Nabia Aryan Hope Project cared for her tenderly. Then came the complex logistics of international transport for a special needs animal. The Howells prepared their home and hearts, aware of the immense patience and understanding ChiChi would require. They spent a lot of time researching and connecting with experts on canine mobility. Their hopes turned towards the idea of custom prosthetics. Veterinarians, prosthetists, and the Howell family collaborated on what kind of support ChiChi would need. The prosthetics had to be safe for her body, incredibly light so they wouldn't be cumbersome, but also robust enough for her to use every day for walking, playing, and just being a dog. They studied how healthy golden retrievers moved, their gait, their balance. Every little detail was super important. There were undoubtedly times when fittings weren't quite right, when adjustments were needed, and when the whole process felt challenging. But they kept going, motivated by ChiChi's desire to connect and her underlying happy nature. They wanted to help her express it fully. Finally, after ChiChi arrived in Arizona and settled with the Howells, the process of fitting her with custom prosthetics began, and with it, the journey of her learning to walk again. This was her next big operation in life, the operation of reclaiming her movement. Each prosthetic was carefully crafted. Everyone watched with anticipation as she took her first tentative steps. Slowly, bit by tiny bit, with incredible support from her new family and her own amazing determination, she started to master them. It was like watching magic, as weeks of patience, expert design, and unwavering hope turned into real movement. Each successful step was one step closer to maybe changing ChiChi's life forever. The day she truly began to walk and then run confidently on her new legs was a moment of pure triumph. The Howell family, who had poured so much love and effort into her rehabilitation, witnessed her incredible progress. ChiChi, initially hesitant after all she'd been through, was carefully encouraged. She explored her new world on her prosthetic legs. And then she did it. She moved with increasing confidence. She played. She ran. Joy and relief filled their home. People watching her progress online shared in the celebration. It worked. ChiChi could move and play like other dogs again. Her golden fur suddenly seemed even brighter. Her eyes looked full of joy. Elizabeth Howell, her adoptive mother, often spoke about ChiChi's remarkable spirit and her ability to trust again. The success was evident not just in her physical movement, but in her emotional healing. She blossomed into a joyful, trusting companion, her tail now a constant blur of happiness. The new legs saved her quality of life, and her spirit was so inspiring that it led to another incredible chapter. Her family shared ChiChi's indomitable spirit led her to become a certified therapy dog. She began regularly visiting veterans, assisted living facilities, and schools, bringing comfort and inspiration to many. Her story resonated globally. Without the prosthetics and the loving care, she would not have had this chance. And ChiChi was now going to live a life full of purpose. Her family knew that her story could inspire so many. For now, ChiChi had found her safe, loving forever home with the Howells. There, with kind people doting on her, she became incredibly healthy and happy. She could explore her surroundings, greet people with enthusiasm, and most importantly, spread joy wherever she went, a beacon of hope on her 4 prosthetic legs. Her story became a happy one that gave hope to everyone who encountered her. And ChiChi's miracle wasn't just about her own second chance. Her impact was felt far and wide. Before her passing in 2019, people all over the world heard about her when she was honored with the American Humane Hero Dog Award in 2018, recognizing her as a symbol of resilience and the healing power of love. One of the most touching moments was her meeting with Owen Mahan, a 10-year-old boy who had also lost his legs. Their connection was profound, a shared understanding between 2 resilient souls. Each time ChiChi visited someone, she left an imprint of hope. ChiChi's journey from a discarded victim in a trash bag to a beloved therapy hero is a strong story. It shows the amazing things that can happen when kind people, dedicated care, and a never-give-up spirit come together. She was given more than just new legs. She was given a future, a chance to love and be loved, and to inspire the world, all thanks to a chain of heroes who wouldn't give up on her. Her story gives hope to rescuers, to families considering adopting special needs pets, and to everyone who believes in second chances. What an absolutely amazing story of survival and the power of love. It really shows how wonderful compassion can be and how much people care about saving animals from cruelty. What do you think about the incredible journey of dogs like ChiChi? Have you heard other stories where an animal has overcome unbelievable odds to inspire others? We'd love to hear what you think in the comments below.